I've mentioned the research has kind of indicated particular features about plants that are really rather good and have great potential, or will do very well in grass-free lawns, and plants that perhaps should be avoided or certainly used very sparingly, perhaps just lightly scattered around one of the lawns if you can get a decent form. And this is an old experiment. This one was set up 3 years ago, and I've really just left it to see what exactly goes wrong, what kind of plants begin to dominate. Because you need to see some of this stuff, and I had a rough idea and some features. The size of the leaf, the height of the leaf, and the chlorophyll in the leaf seem to be very big indicators of what might be just a little bit too strong, a little bit too aggressive for one of the grass-free lawns. Now this was a very species diverse lawn when I put it together. It was all of British natives. This particular one was just simple British natives. There were a few ornamental cultivars, but nonetheless everything in here was a British native, and for the most part I think it still is. Natives do really well in the UK. In fact, they do better than anything else, but that's no surprise. They co-evolved here in the UK, so perhaps unsurprising that they do quite well here. But here we are. Let me just show you some features, and here we have it. Before, when I've been showing people the height of the sward that it should be, it's usually gone up to my second sort of knuckle. Something about to there, second knuckle. If you look around here, you'll now sort of begin to see I can actually start to put my hand in here. This one now sort of goes up to my fist knuckles. And one of the things you'll begin to notice about the plants is here, let me just take it, that for a start is height. And you can see how high these things are getting by showing you this. This is how the height of the leaf would be. It's a rather tall leaf, way beyond the cut height of a lawn, grass-free lawn. I would sort of recommend it be cut to around about 4, 5, 6 centimetres. And look at the size of that. That is one big leaf, and you'll have to take my word for it that the chlorophyll content of that leaf is rather high too. And then you sort of move over here now. A little earlier on in the year it was absolutely chock-a-block with ranunculus repens, the buttercup. And here we are. I have a classic example. Again, see the depth of this. And here we have the leaf size. Look at that. This is not a small leaf. And once again, that is really chock-a-block of chlorophyll, giving it quite a lot of vigour. You can see some of the original plants I put in here. We've got sweet violets. There's Veronica camhedris. And then we move to, here we go again. This one is just Trifolium pratense. This is just the sort of standard stuff that you get from a seed company when you order red clover. And lo, once again, we have a really tall leaf and a really large leaf, and it's a clover, so it's chocker full of chlorophyll. And then if I sort of draw back, you'll begin to see that this native patch, despite being mown, certainly half of it was mown quite regularly, the other half not so much, you will see that basically there are 4 species that dominate in here. There's Trifolium repens, which I haven't quite pointed out to you. Yeah, I just did the red clover. This is a smaller leaf version I used here, so it's not quite so bad in this case, and it has this lovely pink flower. But if I sort of show you again, here we are, you can see we've got a very tall leaf. It's reasonably sized, so that's a dominant one. We've got Trifolium pratense being dominant here. We've got the geranium, Pyrenaicum, lovely flower. I mean, it really is, and the bees love it. But that, and we've got the ranunculus, and that's pretty much it. There's some Veronica camhedris that's managed to survive through here, and there's a bit of yarrow right behind me here that's managed, and see how tall that's got as well. difficult to measure the chlorophyll content in yarrow leaves without mashing them all up and doing it the chemical way. Yep, so I think I'm trying to get my message across here. When you're choosing plants, think carefully about the height that the plant will get, certainly the height of the leaves anyway, and the size of the leaf. And although it'd be difficult to work out, usually a very rich green leaf is an indicator of pretty high chlorophyll content. That's not an absolute by any means, but it's a bit of a rough guide. So things to bear in mind.